Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you all for joining us. This is our second virtual town hall that we've done in the past, I believe, 6 months. After our first one, we got a lot of, positive feedback. People really enjoyed it, getting a little bit of a sneak peek and a behind the scenes look at some of the activity that's going on here in the Agudath Israel, specifically in the New Jersey office. The last legislative item, and I'm going to get to the vaccines, is a very creative idea that actually was brought up by our colleagues in New York. It's something that I believe they're going to be working on over there, and we're going to be copying it a little bit over here from New Jersey, or maybe vice versa. We'll see who gets it done first. And that is that we know as Klal Yisrael grows, our challenges grow. In New Jersey, we are way too familiar with what we were dealing with in the early days of when from Yidden start to move into neighboring towns such as Jackson or Tom's River, Berkshire, and many of these neighborhoods. Years later, those relationships have been fixed. I don't want to use the word fixed; it's a bad word, but have been made better. And lots of those animosity or sort of the unknown that existed several years ago, Baruch Hashem, in some communities have gone away. In some communities, it's still there. In some communities in New Jersey where many Frum people live, they simply cannot build a shul. They simply cannot build a yeshiva. They don't have a yeshiva in their neighborhood where their children can go to. Some neighborhoods don't have an Erev. We're very familiar with what happened in Mawa, Upper Saddle River, where they banned an Erev. We are familiar with what happened in Clifton, New Jersey, for many years, banning the shul. We're familiar with what's going on in Jackson today. We're in the middle of a lawsuit against them. Today, it's practically impossible to have a legal shul in many neighborhoods in Jackson. Not every neighborhood, many neighborhoods where hundreds of families live. In all of these cases, there's a federal law called RLUIPA, Religious Land Use and Persons Act. And that RLUIPA law has been what sort of protects and prevents towns from enacting laws that would prevent shuls or houses of worship from being built. It's been suggested to us from top lawyers in this field and from others that have been active in this, that what really would be best, especially in a state like New York, New Jersey, where every year we hear of new communities being built, new cities that are having communities, whether it's Linden, Union, Jersey City, Clifton, Manchester, so many places. We should create a state-level RLUIPA law. And we should look at the federal RLUIPA law and see what there wasn't beneficial for us, what was challenging for us, and fix that on a state level. And that would give us a tremendous flexibility to be able to defend these communities and prevent these towns from trying to keep us out if we're able to craft our own individualized state RLUIPA law. And that is something that we've already created a draft for New York. We've taken that draft and we've brought it a little bit here to New Jersey. We're bouncing around with a few different attorneys. We're looking at different legislators that may be the right ones to be the sponsors. But these are things that we're working on.